Today I'm going to speak to something that I think many of you feel, which is there's got to be an easier, more effortless way to achieve your goals or your dreams, whether that is a loving relationship, whether that is optimizing your health or well-being, whether that is generating abundance in your business or in your career. Many of you are so tired, you're hustling, you're thinking of strategies, you're working so hard, and yet you think there's got to be a better way. And that way is knowledge of the metaphysical laws. So meta means above. Physics means the laws that govern our physical universe. So when you understand the metaphysical laws, you rise above those physical laws to the laws that govern reality, that govern the energy of the entire universe, which is so freeing and makes everything so much simpler, which is precisely why you came here to Earth. You came here to have a joyful, creative experience with, yes, some horrible contrast, but we forget that. And it's time for us to tune back into that creator energy. So I teach 10 metaphysical laws in my programs, and today I'm going to share 3 with you. The first is the law of consciousness. So people often say, what is consciousness? Is consciousness my mindset? Is it how I think? It is, but it's more. Consciousness is the lens with which you view reality. And it's shaped by your mindset, by your DNA, by your experiences, by everything that you've been through. Which is why you and I might meet the same person, but perceive them completely differently. And each person's consciousness adds up and contributes to what is called the collective consciousness. And consciousness beyond the collective is the consciousness that created our physical world, whether you think that's a divine creator or a god or a goddess. It's that energy that created all things. But what consciousness also means is the ability to choose how you are embodying yourself. What are your beliefs? How do you connect with this collective and global consciousness? It also explains why sometimes you have 2 people doing the exact same thing, same strategies, same business, literally down to the detail. They're doing the same thing, but they're getting completely different results. This comes back to what is the state of their consciousness. And also a part of consciousness is embodiment. Who do you choose to be every day? Are you living in the identity of the person who has what you want already? Because that is key. You have access to that person at any given time if you practice. Another element is your nervous system. How is your nervous system doing? If your nervous system is shot, which it is for most of humanity, especially in the West, where we live off caffeine, sugar, poor nutrition, overworked, underpaid, all that jazz, your nervous system is going to affect the state of your consciousness and how you can use the metaphysical laws. So that is something that we really want to work intimately with and be aware of. The second metaphysical law that I want to introduce to you is the law of correspondence. You may have heard variations of this law from Hermes Trismegistus, if I'm saying his name right, and many, many spiritual coaches and leaders and ascended masters over time. Essentially, the law is so within, so without, as above, so below. Everything that we see, whether, and coming at it as a kinesiologist, as an educator, when it comes to health and well-being, pretty much everything that happens with your physical and emotional health comes from within. It's a projection of what is happening within you. And all sickness, all dis-ease, as our beloved Louise Hay would say, all of it began as an emotional or an electrical spark in the quantum field, in the aura that is you. All living beings are electrical beings, and your aura is simply the electrical field around you, electromagnetic field around you, because we have electricity within us. So all injury, all sickness begins with a spark, and that spark, left unchecked, densifies, or thoughts or patterns repeat. It densifies until we receive physical symptoms. Your body is your friend. It is not trying to upset you with symptoms. It's trying to communicate with you. It's in a very literal way drawing your attention to that spark that needs to be resolved. And everybody's body wants to heal that in a different way. But the cause, the original spark, is the same. It starts in the field. My body might say, hey, I want to deal with my ulcerative colitis nutritionally first. Someone else's body might say, actually, I want to talk about something really traumatic that happened to me 10 years ago and coincided with the time that I started having gut issues. So as within, so without. The body mirrors our emotional and energetic patterns. And once you understand this law, you start to see symptoms as friends. You feel grateful for your body's generosity in trying to communicate with you. And once you establish this two-way communication, healing on all levels is possible. And we call that miraculous, but it's not. It's how it's supposed to be. So when it comes to healing, nothing is random. The third law I want to share with you today is the law of allowing, the law of non-resistance. This is all about when we over-hustle, particularly women, when we fall out of our feminine into our masculine energy, what we are actually doing is tightening the tap of abundance, of divine energy. You know, source, God, goddess, whatever you want to call it, the infinite intelligence that creates the field is always trying to flow through you. You cannot disconnect yourself from it. You can try, but you cannot. All we can do is tighten the tap on that love, on that infinite resourcefulness that is trying to give us everything that we seek. And one of the ways that we can tighten that tap is through resistance, through over-hustling, through forcing, to telling ourselves, no, I must post. My body just wants to rest, but I need to get on social media and do a post for my clinic or business. And yes, there's a time for action, but that time is aligned action. The more we push against our desire. So the key thing is acting from a place of desire. Do I desire making this YouTube video today? Absolutely. You know, I'm in Aries and Neptune moved into my sign today, and I just felt like I had to share this with you today. That is acting from desire, not, oh, I have to do another video. Can you see the difference in that energy? And actually, the more you rest, the more you receive, particularly if you are a woman, which is something else that I teach on my programs. But it's an affirmation that you can already work with. Male or female, the more I rest, the more I receive. So you see, receiving becomes a skill. It's not a reward, it's your natural state. If you think about a baby, that baby knows it's going to be taken care of. It's going to have every need provided for. That is the energy we are meant to continue embodying, to continue being conscious of, because Source is the greatest parent, beyond the greatest parent, and it wants you to have everything that you want. So when we rest, or when we go to Source, you are the best at this. You are the best planner. You are the best financial coach. You are the best healer. Let me hand this over to you, and I'm so ready, willing, and open to receive. Watch the magic happen. When you rest rather than hustle and overschedule yourself, that's when the magic can happen. So these are the 3 metaphysical laws I wanted to share with you today. And in my paid programs, I go through all 10 laws. In my one-to-one sessions, I go through, where are you blocking yourself? Which laws are you unintentionally violating? And if you're a practitioner, I teach you how to use these principles to support your clients who are unwell, to get results that are nothing short of miraculous. But they're not miraculous. They're how it's supposed to be when you work with metaphysics. And so these laws, they won't solve all our problems, but they can certainly make life so much more coherent and simplify your life and make everything so much easier and effortless.